All right, ever wondered why some folks seem to have it all sorted while the rest of us are just trying to remember where we left our car keys? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive into the secret source of success. In our last video, we discussed how tenacity, honesty, and self-discipline are three top qualities that successful folks have. Stick around till the end of this video and you'll find out what it really takes to develop the qualities of how to be successful. You will know how to 1. Practice like a proper champion, 2. Reflect on your actions without crying into your pint, and 3. Model yourself after the big shots without looking like a right muppet. But here's the kicker. It ain't gonna be a walk in the park. You ready to put in the graft? Because if you are, your life might just change faster than a Yorkshireman downs his tea. It's the dog's bollocks, folks. Right then, let's talk about practice. No, not the kind where you pretend to work when the boss walks by. We're talking proper sweat on your brow kind of practice. Start small, set yourself a daily challenge. Maybe it's dragging your sorry behind out of bed before the rooster's even thought about crowing. Or finally tackling that mountain of laundry that's starting to look like the Alps. The more you do it, the less it'll feel like you're pulling teeth without anesthetic. Before you know it, you'll be conquering tasks like a Viking in a village full of monks. Now here's the secret sauce: consistency. It's like brewing a proper cup of Yorkshire tea. You don't just dunk the bag once and hope for the best, do you? Nah, you let it steep, give it time. Same with practice. Do it every day, rain or shine, hangover or not. And don't forget to challenge yourself. If you're finding it too easy, you're not growing. It's like trying to build muscle by lifting a packet of crisps. You need to add some weight to see results. But here's the thing. What if I told you practice was just the tip of the iceberg? Now, don't go thinking reflection means staring at yourself in the mirror like some sort of narcissistic budgie. We're talking about taking a good hard look at what you've been up to. Set aside some time each week, maybe when you're nursing a Sunday hangover, and ask yourself, what went well? What was about as useful as a chocolate teapot? It's like looking at yourself the morning after a night out. Sometimes you've got to face the music, even if it sounds like a cat being strangled. Try jotting it all down in a journal. It's cheaper than therapy and way less awkward than telling your problems to some stranger with a clipboard. But here's the kicker. Don't just reflect. Act on it. If you realize you've been about as productive as a sloth on holiday, don't just shrug it off. Make a plan to do better. It's like realizing your pint's empty. You don't just stare at it, you go and get another one, don't you? And while you're at it, celebrate your wins too. Did something good? Give yourself a pat on the back. Treat yourself to a pint or a chippy tea. Just don't go overboard or you'll end up reflecting on why your trousers don't fit anymore. But hold on to your flat caps, because we're not done yet. There's one more trick up our sleeve that'll have you winning at life faster than you can say Yorkshire pudding. Right, time to talk about modeling. No, not the kind where you strut down a catwalk looking like you've got a pole up your backside. We're on about finding someone who's got their life more together than a Lego set, and studying them like they're the last pint in the pub. Pick someone you admire, maybe that mate who always seems to have their ducks in a row while you're still trying to find the pond. Watch them like a hawk. What do they do differently? How do they handle things when life throws them a curveball? Copy their style, but for the love of all that's holy, don't start wearing their clothes. That's just weird, and you might end up in the nick for theft. Now here's the clever bit. Don't just copy what they do, try to understand why they do it. It's like when you're trying to recreate your nan's secret recipe. You don't just throw in the same ingredients, you need to know the method behind the madness. And remember, you're not trying to become their clone. You're not some pod person from a sci-fi flick. Take what works for you and leave the rest. It's like a buffet. Pile your plate with the good stuff, but leave the dodgy-looking salad for someone else. Now, you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I put it all together? Well, hold on to your flat caps, because I'm about to tie it all up neater than a butcher's parcel. Let's have a quick recap, shall we? We've learned that to be successful, you need to 1. Practice daily, even if it feels like you're trying to teach a fish to ride a bicycle. 2. Reflect on your actions more often than you check your phone for notifications. 3. Model yourself after successful folk without turning into a creepy copycat. Remember, developing these qualities is like trying to get a straight answer out of a politician. It takes time and patience. But stick with it, and before you know it, you'll be more successful than a Yorkshire pudding at a Sunday roast. Now, if you've enjoyed this video more than a cold pint on a hot day, do us a favor and hit that like button harder than a rugby tackle. Subscribe and ring that bell like it owes you money. And leave a comment telling us which of these tips you'll be trying first, or just say "ay up" if you're feeling shy. Remember, success is just around the corner, unless you live in a roundabout, in which case you might want to take the exit. Cheers.